Tombstone, Arizona Territory, April 12, 1884.
Come on back here, you cheapling!
Drop it!
It's all right, Sheriff. It's no trouble. Just gonna teach this teasing little filly a lesson. Why don't you just go on back to bed, huh?
I said drop the whip.
Sheriff, this ain't none of your affair. I guess you don't know who I am. My pa's Flint Anson.
Yeah, I know who you are. You boys better get him home before I'm forced to tan his britches. You all right?
I think so.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. April 13, 1884. Wally Anson was dead. Sheriff Clay Hollister had killed him in self-defense. And as Flint Anson rode into town the next day, the town was alive with tension. Flint.
I want to put an ad in the next edition of your paper. Full page.
Full page? Sure, Flint. Come in. You have a copy?
I'll tell you what to say.
Sit down.
Write this. Attention all interested parties. I promise to pay the sum of $10,000 to the first person or persons bringing me proof of the death of the man who murdered my son.
Wally wasn't murdered, Flint, and you know it. Clay shot back at him in self-defense.
I'm not asking for your opinion. This is my ad.
And this is my newspaper. I won't print it.
All right. Somebody else will.
Flint! Listen to me. Don't do this. Think it over.
Think what over? That Wally was a weakling? That he wasn't the man I wanted him to be? He was my son. If it wasn't for this, I'd kill Hollister myself.
When you took those 2 slugs in that arm, Flint, you were defending homesteaders you didn't even know. You brought the first law and order to this part of the country. Don't throw away what you and so many others have fought so hard to get.
Sounds like one of your editorials. You never had a son. What do you think I fought for? All I can end up with is 6 feet of ground. I was thinking of Wally and his sons.
Flint.
going through that for, Mr. Clybourne?
Where'd you get these, Willie?
Stage was full of them. Driver dropped off a couple bundles with the mail. And then he gave me $2 and said I should push them up all over town.
Well, didn't you read it?
Yeah, but it's none of my business what it says. $2 isn't easy to come by. Hey, you can't do that. Give me those.
What's going on?
Flint didn't waste much time, did he?
Great.
Hey, you can't do that. Stop it.
That's not going to help any, Harris.
Well, he's not going to put these up in Tombstone.
Mr. Clybourne has no right to stop me from putting them up. Does he, Sheriff?
No, Willie, nobody has. You go right ahead. What are you trying to do, Harris? Keep progress?
Progress?
Yeah, $10,000. It's a lot more than most reward posters offer. Here you go, Willie. I wouldn't want you to run short.
Ain't nothing personal in this. You understand, Sheriff? The driver gave me $2 to do a job. I gotta do it.
Sure.
Yes, sir, gents. I'm offering 2-to-1 odds that Sheriff Clay Hollister doesn't live through the next 7 days. Now, you, sir, there's a certain expression on that handsome, intelligent face of yours that tells me you don't agree with my thinking. All right, sir. I will wager you $50 against your 25 that within 7 days from this date, Sheriff Hollister will be pushing up daisies on Boot Hill. No? All right, you gents name the stakes. I'll lay the odds and cover all bets. Evening, Sheriff. I was just saying to these gents...
I know, mister. I heard.
Nothing personal, Sheriff. I'm a gambler. I bet on anything.
I'm getting fed up with this nothing personal talk. I tell you what, you're a gambler. Why don't you try for the big stake yourself?
I don't know what you mean, Sheriff.
Why fool around with this penny ante stuff? If you're so sure I'm going to be dead within a week, why not fix it so you can't lose?
I'm no gunslinger, Sheriff.
I don't figure you carry this just for luck. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn my back and walk for that door. That'll give you 4, maybe 5 seconds where you can pick up that gun and shoot me. If you do, you'll earn yourself $10,000. Of course, I just might shoot back. Is that clear, mister? What's the matter, gambler? Didn't you like the odds? I got to admit it, Harris, I'm getting a little jumpy.
Look, Clay, you can't handle this alone. The mayor's calling a meeting at his house tonight. He's asking for volunteers to help you, well, keep an eye on things.
You mean a bodyguard? Well, I can guess who started the idea. Look, I appreciate it, Harris, but don't drag other people into it. It's my fight, just mine.
Well, I don't see it that way. That stage is carrying those posters by the hundreds. The territory will be covered with them.
Yeah. I figure by the end of the week, everybody who can squeeze a trigger and is looking for a fast dollar will be headed this way.
That's right. Well, you don't like my idea. What's yours?
Haven't got one yet. Well, I got a tour to finish.
Oh, Clay, I think I'd like some air myself. Do you mind if I walk along with you?
Yes, Harris, I do. One of them might be a bum shot. Nick you.
Willie.
Hello, Clay.
Jack.
All right, Harris, I know him. He's the marshal from Globe, Jack Bolton.
Clay, you ought to be careful letting kids like this play with a gun. A mighty sharp bead aimed right at the back of your head.
Not much need to ask why, is there, Willie?
Figure somebody's gonna kill you, Sheriff. I had nothing against you. But for that kind of money.
Well, leastway, he's honest.
What's there to laugh about, Bolton?
He's still alive, ain't he?
Lucky for me you came along when you did, Jack.
Lucky nothing. That's the way I had a plan, Clay. You're the talk of the territory. Thought you might need the help of a brother lawman. I got a great plan, so let's lock this hyena up and I'll tell you all about it.
Marshal John Bolton from Globe had saved Clay Hollister from being shot in the back. The lawman had a plan, and Hollister was willing to listen.
I've known Flint Anson ever since he came out west. And the only way you're going to settle this is with a personal conference. A showdown of words instead of a showdown of guns.
Maybe so. At least it's better than sitting around waiting.
That's right. That's why we catch old Flint by surprise.
You going along too, Marshal?
Yeah, like I said, I know Anson better than anybody. I can talk to him, and if he won't listen, and worse comes to worse, we always got a couple law guns to back us up.
Well, if that's the case, it seems to me it would be better to go up there with a real show of strength. I can get any number of men to ride out there with us.
No, that's no good. You see, this way it's man to man, just Clay and Flint. I'm only going to go along just to try to get them together.
I don't know, Clay. You'd be riding right into Flint's stronghold.
You got a better plan?
Well, maybe we can think of one.
No, Harris, I think Jack's right. Personal showdown, one way or the other.
That's right, son. Old Flint's eyes are going to pop right out of his head when we come riding up together.
Let's go.
I don't like it, Clay.
I haven't liked it from the beginning.
Figure you want to meet up with those gents. Bounty hunters. Yeah, just the beginning. Well, let's go, Clay. They're heading for Tombstone.
Claiborne. What are you doing here?
Wake up, Jake. I want you to send a telegraph message.
At this hour of the night? Who to?
The mayor of Globe. Come on, Jake.
Give me a chance to put my pants on, will you?
This is more important than your pants. Now, you send this, and don't you go back to bed until you get an answer. You hear me? It says what I think it will. I've got a long ride ahead of me. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Nothing. I just got a bad back, Clay. Not as young as I used to be. You've been riding pretty hard. What do you say we rest the horses?
Sure, we got a few minutes.
There's a stream over yonder. I'll water the horses down. If you want to build a fire, we'll have a spot of breakfast, all right?
You call it your plan.
Oh, boy.
Are you sure the telegraph's working?
Of course it's working. You gotta give him time. Probably got the mayor of Globe up the same way you got me. Give him time.
Well, we should have had an answer by now. Are you sure it's working? What's it say?
Bolden? Discharged. No. Authority as law man.
Thanks, Jake.
Hey, don't you want your message?
Don't move, boy. Unbuckle your gun belt and bring your hands up real high.
You really do have a plan, don't you?
That's better, boy. Now you raise up on those hind legs of yours, real nice and slow.
You know, Jack, anybody had asked me, I would have bet 5 years' pay you'd be the last man in the world to do this.
5 years, don't be a piker. Make it 10 years. 10 years of pay and you still don't come close to that bounty. Oh, yeah, they give you a badge and a gun and a high-sounding title, and for $78 a month, they ask you to go out and risk your neck.
You didn't used to talk that way when we rode together. You used to say, if a man was interested in money, this was the wrong job for him.
Yeah, I guess I did say that. Just shows you how local a man can get sometime. There was a time when I believed all those things. You protect a town, they'll appreciate it, respect you, repay you. But I found out different. Clay, I'm 40 years old. 22 years I spent behind this stinking badge. And they said I was getting too old and too slow. Oh, they kept me on all right, but as a deputy. But only because nobody had the stomach to fire me outright.
So you turned bounty hunter?
No, I hung on. And I came across this bank robber who offered me $500 if I'd let him go. Clay, there was a time when I would have busted his neck. But I took the money. Yeah, I took it. Town found out about it. Gave me exactly 24 hours to get out.
What do you want me to do? Tell you how badly you were treated?
Oh, no, Clay. $10,000 buys a heap of comfort.
How are you going to explain the shooting?
Everybody knows the bounty hunters were gunning for you. In fact, I had to wing one myself back there in Tombstone. Those two we saw a while ago, they ought to be in town by now. We'll just say that we were ambushed. Might even give myself a little flesh wound to show how I was trying to protect you again.
You think they'll believe you?
Well, that's just a chance I'm willing to take.
Then how are you going to collect the reward?
Anson, Anson's a friend of mine, remember? He'll be the only one that really knew what happened. That satisfy you?
Nothing satisfies me right now.
Well, it's getting late. It's just about that time. Now, how do you want it? In the front or in the back?
I don't suppose looking me in the eye is going to stop you now.
I'm afraid not.
If it's all the same to you, I'd just as soon be facing you.
I guess they were right. I was getting too old.
Here's the first body you've bought, Anson. There's liable to be a lot more before this is over. Hello, Harris. Glad you're here. I got a story for you. The morning of April 18th, there was a final showdown between the hired gunman of Flint Anson and Sheriff Clay Hollister. Now, which one of you was tempted by the 10,000 like he was?
He was my friend.
Yes, Flint, he liked you too. And your money. There'll be a lot more come for your money. You won't know him. Maybe you won't care.
You might be interested in this, Anson. That's a petition signed by the citizens of Tombstone, asking that you retract that price on Clay's head. Look it over. Some of those names are your best friends, and they wanted me to tell you something else. They've always respected and admired you. You once fought on the side of law and order. But the first time it hits you personally, you're on the other side. Think it over, Flint. All the killing in the world isn't going to bring your boy back.
We'll take care of the body.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I want